All right, let's talk about procrastination. It's time to completely rethink what it is. Because, it has nothing to do with being lazy. It's actually about something much deeper. We're talking about emotional avoidance.
Seriously, let that sink in for a second. If you're someone who's constantly beating yourself up for putting things off, then you really need to hear this. The reason you procrastinate, it's not a character flaw. It's actually a protection mechanism your brain is using. And once you really get that, oh man, everything changes.
Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the biggest myth out there. I call it the willpower myth. You know the one. It's this idea that the only way to beat procrastination is to just try harder and force yourself to do the work. I mean, this is basically our default setting, right? We automatically assume it's some kind of personal failure. You've got a task, you don't do it, and what's the first thing you think? I just lack discipline, or I'm just not motivated enough.
And this just perfectly shows that frustrating cycle we all get stuck in. Step 1, you blame your willpower. Step 2, you try to just brute force your way through the task, which, let's be honest, feels terrible. And then, when that doesn't work, which it usually doesn't, you're just left with this pile of guilt and shame, and that just makes it even harder the next time. It's a total self-defeating loop.
And here's the thing. If trying harder was the actual answer, procrastination wouldn't even be a problem, right? We'd all just power through everything. The fact that this is such a universal human struggle, that tells you we're looking at this whole thing from the completely wrong angle.
Okay, so let's get to the big discovery, the thing that flips this whole idea on its head. Turns out, this isn't a time management problem at all. It's an emotional one. And believe me, understanding that, it changes the whole game.
This right here, this is probably the single most important thing to get. Procrastination isn't about failing to manage your schedule. It's your brain's strategy for managing uncomfortable emotions. And think about it, no app, no planner, no to-do list in the world can fix an emotional issue.
And this is such a critical difference. A task can be super simple on the surface, right? Like just sending one important email. But if that email is tangled up with feelings of anxiety, or maybe some potential conflict, or a fear of being judged, your brain flags the feeling as the threat. The task itself isn't the problem.
So, if our brain is trying to avoid these feelings, what does it do? Well, it comes up with an escape plan. It's like it hits the eject button. It finds something, literally anything else, to do that will give it immediate relief from that uncomfortable feeling.
I mean, think about it. We never procrastinate on the easy, fun stuff, do we? You don't put off watching your favorite show. No, we procrastinate on the tasks that carry some kind of emotional weight. Starting that huge project feels overwhelming. Writing that one specific email brings up a ton of anxiety. Studying for that big exam, it triggers a fear of failure.
And here they are, the usual suspects. These are the real culprits. Your brain is just trying to protect you from these feelings. The problem isn't the spreadsheet itself, it's that feeling of being completely overwhelmed. It's not the blank page staring back at you, it's that nagging fear that whatever you write just won't be good enough.
This is just basic brain wiring, Our brains are literally hardwired to move away from threats and toward rewards. So when a task triggers a feeling that threatens our confidence or our sense of self, the brain's alarm system just goes haywire. It's screaming, "Abort mission! Find something that feels better right now!" And that's the whole weird paradox of procrastination, isn't it? We know it's bad for us long term, but in that split second when you choose the distraction, there's this genuine wave of relief. You've successfully dodged the bullet, that unpleasant feeling. And that relief, even though it's temporary, is a super powerful reward that just keeps reinforcing the habit.
Okay, so we get the problem now, right? It's emotional. So what do we do about it? How do we shift into a better strategy? Well, it all starts by asking ourselves a completely different kind of question.
Yeah, this really shows the shift perfectly. Look at the old question. How do I force myself to do this? That's all about force and resistance. It's setting up an internal battle. But the new, powerful question is all about awareness and curiosity. What emotion am I trying to avoid? See the difference? It's not about judgment, it's about investigation. So this is the actual tool you can use, right now. The very next time you catch yourself avoiding something, just stop. Pause for a second and ask yourself this question, and really importantly, don't judge the answer. Just notice it. What is it? Is it fear? Is it boredom? Maybe uncertainty?
There's something kind of magical that happens when you do this. The simple act of just naming the emotion, it separates it from who you are. All of a sudden, you're not an overwhelmed person. You're a person who is currently feeling overwhelmed.
And boom, the problem isn't some giant scary monster anymore. It's a specific feeling, and that's something you can actually work with. Okay, let's bring this all home. The ultimate goal here is to completely reframe this. We need to stop seeing procrastination as a character flaw and start seeing it for what it actually is, a signal.
This says it all, really. It's about having a little self-compassion. Your brain isn't saying you're lazy, it's not attacking you, it's actually trying to help, just in a really clumsy way. It's sending up a flare, like a little warning signal, saying, hey, this thing over here feels really uncomfortable.
And when you get this, it's like the war with yourself finally ends. Instead of trying to crush that lazy part of you, you get curious. If you notice you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe the answer is to break the task into tiny pieces. If you're feeling afraid of failure, maybe you just need to remind yourself that a first draft is supposed to be imperfect. You shift from blaming yourself to actually solving the real problem.
So I'll leave you with this one thought. The next time you feel procrastination creeping in, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Instead ask, what is my brain trying to tell me? Because that signal doesn't mean you're broken, it just means you're human. And actually listening to it, that's the real first step to finally getting things done.